Welcome everybody to Football, the People's Game. Today we'll be having some reactions to the match from weekend. We'll be starting with Chelsea versus Manchester City. But before we begin, I would like to introduce you to our analyst today, Iroko. So Iroko, welcome to the show Football, the People's Game.
Thank you for having me here today.
All right, last weekend, Manchester City won Chelsea 3-1. After going down 1 goal to Chelsea, Manchester City were able to do a comeback and winning the match 3-1. But the major talking point from that game is Robert Sanchez of Chelsea, the goal that he conceded against Haaland. Many people have criticized him for his positioning and not being at the right spot. That gave Haaland the edge to score that goal. And after the match, in a post-match interview, Enzo Maresca has said they have trust in Sanchez. In his words, he said, "We trust Robert for sure. He's completely aware he's making mistakes in this moment." But you can see that some of these mistakes are costly. So what do you have to say about the Chelsea goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, and some of the mistakes that he has been making?
Well, in those days, there were times keepers win matches for the team,
Okay.
especially in situation of a goalless game. You see keepers, crucial saves and positioning win the point, a point or 3 points for your team. But in cases of Sanchez, I don't think he has ever won a match for Chelsea
Where he has been very much outstanding,
yes,
keeping
keeping
the opponent
and
out.
making some reflex savings. So Sanchez is not the kind of player that should be in the goal line for Chelsea or any top club. So if your keeper is making unnecessary errors
Costing
or
matches.
or making errors regularly, not in once in a blue moon, but occasionally, next match he does the same thing and on and on and on, going on and on and on. You have to give a chance to other keepers
Okay.
that you have. Maybe your second choice might be better than your first choice. You don't know. Just have to give the second keeper a chance.
All right. So in reaction still to that Sanchez mistake in the Manchester City game, Gary Neville, Manchester United legend, has called him out and said that when Liverpool were building their recent squad under Jurgen Klopp, they had carriers that was making so much obvious mistakes at the time, and you see that Liverpool were unable to win anything proper until they have to change the goalkeeper to bring in Alisson. And we can see that has proven Gary Neville's statement right, because ever since Alisson came in, we have seen that
Champions
they have
League
won
and Premier
a lot
League
of trophies.
Yes.
So Chelsea this season, at a point going into the Xmas break, they were in top form, going about 6 games win at a stretch,
contending for the league.
Yes. Are you taking a dig at them?
No. It's just the fact. They were contending for the league, but now they are contending for top 4.
All right, so that is by the way. So that has proven Gary Neville's statement right. Alisson came in and we have seen the difference he had made at that back line. But you see teams like Chelsea and Manchester United, their current goalkeepers, I don't think they are at their best to be the first choice for teams like Manchester United and Chelsea.
Let me correct you. The keepers for Manchester United and Chelsea, this is their best.
They can't
do better than this. This is just their best. So now that we have seen that these keepers are not world-class keepers, they are just good keepers, but not classic keepers. You go to the market and go and get yourself a better keeper. Like Chelsea, they have their keeper which they loaned, Kepa Arrizabalaga, right? He won them the Champions League. You had that kind of keeper
A
there.
very young
A
and
very
prominent,
young. And
promising
one thing
goalkeeper.
about goalkeepers is when they are young, they are not going to perform the way they should. Keepers mature at their with time, especially when they are in their 30s. Look at when Mine brought in Van der Sar.
Van der Sar, yes.
And look at Alisson's age. Age matters in goalkeeping. They take bold decisions that younger players cannot take. So Arrizabalaga, he has played for Real Madrid, won the Champions League there, played for Chelsea and won the Champions League there. What qualification do you need from a goalkeeper before you take such decision of bringing him in?
So if they are actually talking about trust, although Enzo Maresca didn't get to meet Arrizabalaga at Chelsea.
Yes.
So if they are actually even talking about trust, it should have been on Kepa Arrizabalaga.
He should be
Chelsea.
Their first choice.
All right. And also last weekend, Arsenal were able to win Wolves in a match that looked so controversial, having 2 red cards. And Mikel Arteta has praised his side. In his words, he said he's extremely proud of the players, the courage, spirit, and intelligence. So with this 1-0 win, Arsenal are second with 47 points, 6 points off Liverpool that have 1 game in hand. So if Arsenal should go on to end this season on the second spot again, it will make them finishing second 3 times consecutively. And if they don't win the league this season, is that run really something historical to talk back at in the future for Arsenal?
It's just like I've said before, Arsenal going invisible shouldn't be historical.
That was under Arsene Wenger.
Yes, shouldn't be historical. That's what's happening now.
Why did you say that?
Because you don't have to go unbeaten with winning just 1 trophy. Okay. That should be your best season, right? Your best and your most dangerous season. Winning only 1, just like winning the league. Just like winning the league. Then you are in the second position for the 3rd time in a row for 3 good seasons without winning nothing. Not the Carling Cup, not the FA Cup, not the Community Shield. I don't think that is a good statistic. It shouldn't be recognized by any football association.
Okay, so if Mikel Arteta should fail at bringing any silverware this season, that everybody has seen Arsenal that they are their best form, do you think he could possibly get the sack to bring in somebody who could actually bring Arsenal some trophies?
That is, if he wins, he should stay if he wins either the Premier League or the Champions League. Anything other than that, he's not a promising coach.
And these trophies that you have made mention of, I think is far-fetched, because as it is, Liverpool are top of the table,
which is very impossible for them to win. For Arsenal to win.
Yeah, and then Arsenal in the Champions League. I don't think with the players, with the other clubs that are still there, I don't see Arsenal being favourite to win the Champions League.
Well, miracle happens. We can never tell.
Okay.
But if Arteta fails to win any of these 2 trophies, then he shouldn't remain the head coach for next season for Arsenal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and also last weekend, Liverpool beat Ipswich Town 4-1, and that has taken them 6 points clear, just like I made mention earlier. And their recent form stands at 18 games unbeaten. That is their recent form. And despite winning Ipswich Town 4-1, the coach Arne Slot is still dissatisfied with his squad for conceding just that 1 goal. It tells you the kind of mentality that Arne Slot has brought in that squad. You see other teams conceding goals, winning 3-2 or tying 4-4 and stuff like that, and you don't see the coach beating them down. But you see this mentality, conceding just 1 goal, and he's dissatisfied with his side. What do you have to say about that mentality? How it sets Liverpool and Arne Slot different from the other coaches in the EPL?
That tells of the kind of character Arne Slot has. You see, I watched the game for Liverpool versus Ipswich Town. Liverpool dominated the game. So I'm in support of Arne Slot. He's trying to bring them on their feet to play better than now. Because if they retard, that 6 points is nothing compared to what Arsenal had when in previous seasons against Man City. 3 games, if they lose 3 games, you know where they will be in Premier League. If they lose 4 games, you know they might not even make the top 4. So he has to be on them all the time. Even winning 5-1, you don't have to have that mentality that you have won the league already, because the season is not yet over. So he has to keep firing them to continue playing better than what they have started.
And also last weekend, Manchester United narrowly won Fulham 1-0 from Martinez's screamer. And some weeks prior to that game, the Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim has tagged Manchester United squad the worst in Manchester United history. That has given rise to many backlash for making such a comment. Some reported that after they lost to Brighton, he was furious with his squad in the dressing room, and that escalated to the extent of breaking some items in the dressing room. And it was after then that he made that comment that Manchester United squad currently are the worst in Manchester United history. So people like Rio Ferdinand, former Manchester United defender, has come out to say that it wasn't proper for the coach to make such comments, and that it will bring down the spirit of the United players currently in Manchester United. So what do you think? Was Amorim right to make that comment? Because we have seen the frustration this current Manchester United squad have been piling. We keep saying that the problem at Manchester United are the managers. We have seen Moyes being sacked. We have seen Van Gaal being sacked. We have seen Mourinho being sacked. Ten Hag being sacked. Ole being sacked. And then the problem is still there. So I think Amorim coming in, he doesn't want to take the easy way, and he's trying to be so hard on the Manchester United players to bring out their best. If you see their form in the Premier League this season under Amorim, in about 11 games, they have won just 3 out of them, which is very, very poor. So what do you think about that reaction from Amorim? Is it the right reaction, or it was a wrong reaction?
He was right to say that. To say that to the face of the players. He was telling them that, hey, look at all of you. You are not good enough to play for Manchester United. That was what he was trying to say. You see, the problem with Manchester United is the players do not respect their coach. So the players are not willing to play for Manchester United. Very few are there for the club. You see the way Ahmad runs himself out, always charging. I think he has scored more than 3 goals from charging and causing defensive errors against his opponents. You don't see that from Rashford. You don't see that from Garnacho. You don't see that from Zexi. So the coach should not be blamed for. He said that out of frustration. Everybody can say that. You see, Mourinho will boldly come out to say the same thing. He has done that before, which led to him being sacked and so on. So that match, the loss, when he broke those items, I was Amorim that day, because Manchester United were playing like
babies,
like not babies from a club from Division 2. That doesn't speak well of a club like Manchester United, and that shows that those players are not willing. They are not the kind of players that should be playing for Manchester United. You see, Garnacho, as young as he is leading United's attack. Zexi leading United attack. So the coach is frustrated by Manchester United's performance.
Okay. So you just made mention of Marcus Rashford, and in their win last night against Fulham, when he was asked, Amorim, when he was asked about Marcus Rashford being sidelined again, he said it was still due to the same reasons, that any players that gives his maximum in the training is the players that he's working with. So that is to say Rashford has not been putting in effort, or the energy he has been bringing in around the training ground is not enough. So he even joked that it is better for him that he would put the goalkeeping coach, yes, George Vita, on the bench than keeping Marcus Rashford on the bench if he's not giving his maximum at the training. So I don't know what is actually wrong with Marcus Rashford. You know, coming in to Manchester United from the academy, he had this good vibe, you know, and everybody were looking up to him. And even after, when Rooney left Manchester United, he was immediately given the number 10 jersey, because they were seeing that future in Marcus Rashford to turn out good, like players like Beckham for Manchester United, or Ruud van Nistelrooy for Manchester United. But at the end of the day, this energy that is around Rashford, I don't think is good at all, and I don't think it's good for the Manchester United squad currently, considering the fact that they are fighting so hard to bring something out for this season. So what do you think? Is Marcus Rashford not actually affecting his future with this attitude? If at all it is true that he has not been giving his maximum.
You see that he has already affected his career. He has been placed in the market, in the window. How many clubs have come to sign him?
Como was there to take him on loan.
Clubs like Como are coming to take the like of Rashford
on loan.
You see how he has devalued himself. When Rashford came, I was looking at someone that is going to be a legend in Manchester United. He has won some good trophies,
but he has never won the domestic league.
You see, let's take. You know what? I was thinking about what Rashford has won for Manchester United. The trophies he has won for Manchester United. If it were for Arsenal, he would have been considered a legend if he retires. Right?
Yes.
He has won the Europa trophy. He has, I think, about 3 FA Cups, 2 Carling Cups, and a Community Shield. If that trophy goes to Arsenal's cabinet from the player, let's say Saka won those. Though Saka after his retirement will be an Arsenal legend. So that is, by the way, Rashford still has the chance to prove himself.
Still at Manchester United?
Still at Manchester United.
Do you think he can still gain the trust of Amorim?
Yes, Amorim. I think Amorim is willing to help him, but it's not helping himself. But I still believe he has the potential to prove himself. If he trains well, like Amorim has said, he will get the chance he deserves. Rashford's career is in span. It's either for him to throw it away or he has to keep it.
Okay. All right. So, Leicester City shocked Tottenham last weekend, winning 2-1 against them after being 1 goal down. And that win has leaped them from the relegation zone with just 1 point off the relegation zone. Do you think that Ruud van Nistelrooy can actually help Leicester come out of the relegation zone and keep them in a safe position ahead of next season?
You see, when questions comes like that, they always refer to the manager. If he take the, the manager is not playing, he makes use of the available best players in his squad. But are the best players in Leicester good enough to compete? That should be the question. But they've played well, especially against, they have this rival team against Tottenham. Their first leg they drew, and their second leg they had a good fight. You see the rivalry there, and they should, if Leicester City, their team would be able to compete the way they did against Tottenham. Though people will say Tottenham are struggling. What of the first leg? They drew them while they were in top 4. Tottenham were in top 4 when Leicester drew them
in the first leg.
Yes. So if Leicester can play the way they played
against
Tottenham towards other opponents, I think they will come out of relegation. They will not be relegated. But if they retards and gets back to their former self, then it's left for them.
Okay.
They are already used to relegation. I think they enjoy it better. So no problem.
All right. So in La Liga last weekend, Madrid won Valladolid 3-0. All goals from Kylian Mbappe. When Mbappe was signed by Madrid, he really struggled at the beginning.
Yes.
But we can see that recently Mbappe is coming to the limelight in La Liga. He scored all 3 last weekend against Valladolid, and that has given him 15 goals in La Liga this season. 2 goals off Barca's Lewandowski. So do you think that Mbappe can fire Madrid to win the La Liga this season? With this their win last weekend, they have gone top of the table, 4 points off Atletico Madrid that is in the second spot.
At the beginning of the season, I never saw Madrid winning, or I never thought about them winning the league because of how they started the season, struggling, and Mbappe not performing well alongside some of the Madrid players. But you see the kind of spirit they have compared to Manchester United. They are trying to bring up that mentality of, no, we are not giving up, we have to win it. And they are in the first position with 4 points clear with a game at hand.
Yes.
So I think they are in a good run to win the La Liga, because Mbappe is now playing well. If he continues like this, the La Liga is for Real Madrid.
Okay. And also this weekend, Barcelona trashed Valencia 7-1. But despite that, they are currently in 10th position with 42 points. That is 7 points off Real Madrid that is in the first position. So, Baka, what do you have to say about that, their drop in form compared to the beginning of the season?
You see, it's not just about winning the big clubs. The question is, are you winning the small clubs? You saw those clubs that won Barcelona,
Las Palmas, and
nobody were expecting that. When you go into a game of belittling your opponent, that's where you get the surprise.
You get exploited.
The way they went in against Real Madrid, if they have gone in against other teams, they might have done better than how they performed. But in football, you don't belittle anything. Anything can happen. They can capitalize on anything. You see the chances they have missed and so on. If they want to win the La Liga, they should have the mentality of Real Madrid.
Okay.
They should never give up and put in their best, and never to belittle any opponent. Okay. They won 7-1. In La Liga, it's not about the goals, it's about the points. Okay. So winning with those goal margins doesn't, but they should save their goals for next match. So they don't look for goals. So they don't look for goals when they are playing any other opponent.
Okay. That will be all for today on the show. This is Football, the People's Game, and if you are a first-time viewer, do well to subscribe to our channel for more of our footballing analysis. So, Iroko, it is nice having you on the show.
It's always my pleasure.
All right. I look forward to seeing you next time.
You're always welcome.
All right. Thank you.